Boy, do we have a crazy one for this video, all right? Today we're focusing on a dominant shooting guard build that can pretty much do everything. So when it comes to defending, when it comes to dribbling, when it comes to scoring, this build is spectacular. And it's beautiful. It's just so beautiful how everything comes together for this build. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So we're gonna go with the shooting guard position. We're gonna go 6'6". I feel like this is where everything comes together perfectly. All right. Now I did create this build to be a dominant build now, but also become even better later. So cap breakers were in mind when creating this build. All right, so we're gonna go 6'6". For our weight, we went 195. Okay, 195 pounds. And then for our wingspan, we went with a 7-foot wingspan. Nowadays, I mean, you see these builds, you see all these smaller builds, but to tell you the truth, I might shake up the community a little bit. Maybe you guys agree, but those tall builds with the long arms, those are still dominant in NBA 2K25. Just letting you know that, all right? So you can run around with your 6'2s, your 6'3s, it's cool. You got all the badges in the game, it's whatever. But if you gotta go up against a 6'9" to a 6'10" power forward, you're gonna get got. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue, and now it's time to go crazy. So for our close shot, we're gonna go with a 73 for our close shot here. And then for our driving layup, we're gonna go with an 85. Yes, an 85 is fairly high, but the layup in this game is actually pretty unstoppable, especially when you pair it with a super high driving dunk rating. All right, so an 85 is of course going to give us some really good badges here, and I mean we have the ability to get even better. All right, just wait on it. Driving dunk, we went with an 88 because we do plan on putting some cap breakers on here and at least coming away with a 91 driving dunk later on, you know, with the longevity of this build pretty much. All right, so we're pretty much future proofing this, so you don't have to keep making builds over and over and over again. Standing dunk, all you really need here is a 45 to get those standing dunk animations. And then for your post control, we went with a 40. So I think we're pretty good there. We're not really attacking anyone from the post with this build, but let's just go ahead and move on. Now for the shooting, the mid-range, 86. Yes, we went with an 86 mid-range here. Now you see with cap breakers, we will be super close. We're only 3 cap breakers away from getting set shot specialist on goal. So keep that in mind because we will be boosting that up. But if you put all 5 cap breakers on here, you will have a 91 mid-range. Now for the 3 ball, we wanted to at least be close enough to get that limitless on bronze. So we just went with an 80. All right, if we want to just put 5 on here, 5 cap breakers, then of course that would give us way more than we need to, but we need that 83 to get limitless range bronze. But if you really want that, just that pure green window that a lot of you guys are looking for, then the 3-pointer can be an 85 if you truly want to do that. Now free throw, I did decide to put a 76 free throw on here just in case you wanted to bring this build to the rack. That is fine. All right, you don't have to worry about not being able to use this build everywhere because you can. Now, when it comes to our playmaking, our pass accuracy is going to be a 70. I feel like that is pretty close to the bare minimum. You could go 71 to get that silver dimer, but we're just going to go ahead and leave that for cap breakers for you guys later. But we went with a 70 here. And then for your ball handle, we wanted to be able to dribble the ball. 85 for the ball handle. Now you can go and use cap breakers. Of course, you are 1 cap breaker away from silver ankle assassin. You're 5 away from handles for days gold. Like you can unlock some pretty serious stuff here. All right, speed with ball, we went with an 85 just because we kind of still want to be a little cheesy. And of course, that's the highest that we can really go right now. I opted to use one single cap breaker for this to go and get our gold lightning launch on this build. All right. Now, when it comes to defense, your build has to play at least a little bit of defense. I mean, I've seen lockdowns get broke, but I mean, you want to play a little bit of defense, cause some ruckus, maybe a few turnovers. It's, you know, a lot, you know, it could be. You're not a lockdown, but with the right cap breakers, you can actually be very intimidating. For our interior defense, we went with a 60. That is the bare minimum. All right. Perimeter defense, we went with an 86. You can go 85 if you really want to, but we went 86. So the highest we can go is going to be a 91 with 5 cap breakers. All right. So with an 86, of course, we're already looking pretty good with the perimeter defense. Now, we wanted that 86. I'll show you later, but it was for a good reason. All right. Steel, we went with a 86 again. Now you can go 85 and that 85 will unlock that gold interceptor, but we went 86 just so we can get our hands on that gold glove later. Now that +5 is going to put us in the category of getting that gold glove, and then after that you should pretty much be done. But after you get that 91, you don't need to worry about anything else. You'll have both of your steel, or the badges that you can get from your steel attribute, on gold, and that's pretty much all you truly need. All right, gold glove, gold interceptor, and we can move on. Now, we did actually add some block on this build, so I don't really put a lot of block on a lot of my guard builds, but for this build we decided to do a little different, just so we can get that paint patroller and actually make people miss in the paint. Now, if we have some good positioning, then cool. Like we can actually get a contest now in the painted area, and that's exactly what I wanted, especially coming from a 6'6" guard. If you're in the paint and I can get a contest, that's all that I really wanted. And then of course we get that high flying denier, which hopefully we will be looking a little higher later. Okay, with cap breakers, we're about like 4 cap breakers away. At the end of this build, we'll be 4 cap breakers away from our silver high flying denier. But let's keep it moving, and now it's time to attack these rebounding attributes. For our offensive rebound, we went with the 26. We're not doing too much rebounding. Defensive rebound, we went with the 49. This is why we're running with a big, we're running with a stretch, board hunting. You know, we need a big that's going to run with us, get those boards, because we should be running the fast break. Okay, now I definitely think we should be running the fast break, because for this build we will have an 82 speed, so we will get the going on anyone. All right, on anyone. So an 82 speed. For our agility, we went with an 81, just to help us laterally and of course give us some crazy badges here. So we got the pick dodger on silver, we got the on ball menace on silver. Now keep in mind, cap breakers will allow us to get some of these perimeter defensive badges on gold. So we are 5 cap breakers away from on ball menace on gold. We will be playing like a lockdown. Now, if you go with the 91 perimeter, you're already going to be unlocking that gold pick dodger. So, I mean, it's a win-win for everything pretty much. Now, for shifty shooter, you're about what, 1 cap breaker away on your mid-range. So, I mean, if you go for that 91 mid-range, you're good. Or that 89 mid-range, I have to say, you're good. You know what I'm saying? You're really cooking. And this is a beautiful build to be running out and just, you know, just making it the best it could be. I gave you guys options on where you can really go and take over and upgrade. It's depending on your playstyle, of course, but you'll have your silver shifty shooter. A lot of you guys are already on starter 3, so I mean, I'm almost vet 2. We're cooking. All right, now strength. If we're going to play defense, we're going to need to have some strength on us. All right, we were a little modest with this because we had to take away from somewhere. We got a lot of speed and we still wanted a little bit of strength. So we went with a 71 for our strength here. And of course, this is going to give us immovable enforcer on bronze, but we can always tier 2 +1 this by just simply going to level 15 in the season pass. All right. Silver immovable enforcer is all you really need to get going and get it done. All right. That's as high as we can get it. And we're going to appreciate every bit of that immovable enforcer. Now for our vert, we did go with a 76. This is going to help us with blocks. This is going to help us, you know, get those dunk animations that we want. So yes, we got a 76 vert. We still get some sick badges, like sick badges. So we're 4 cap breakers away when it comes to vertical. And we're also 5 cap breakers away from gold poster. I mean, it really depends on how we want to craft this build, but I can definitely tell you that there are multiple ways to be great with this build. And I mean, cap breakers are just going to keep flying off the shelves. Then we're gonna keep using them. All right, we've been getting what, +1 cap breaker for the last 2 seasons now. If it keeps going, this build is going to be terrifying by the time you hit legend. Okay. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Bare minimum, you'll have 15 cap breakers, and if they keep throwing them out at the end of each season, this build is looking pretty scary. Now, to look at these takeovers real quick, let's look at these takeovers, and then I'll let y'all rock. All right, you get some pretty disgusting takeovers. Now, one of the ones that you would probably want to use day one of making this build and, you know, putting BC on this build is going to be Dribble Wizard. All right. Your ball handle will become a 93 and your speed with ball will become a 93 as well at level 5. And you will, on top of that, get the blur takeover ability. If you don't know, well, hopefully now you know, because this build is going to be a complete cheese ball. All right. You're going to be able to speed boost past anyone. And the fact that you will have like a 91 driving dunk is terrifying. So you will be getting crazy contact dunks, crazy animations, and you're going to just be a walking bucket with this build. Now you can also go kryptonite. Your driving dunk will be a 95. Well, that's before cap breakers. So say you got a 91, you used your cap breakers and get a 91 driving dunk. Then you just +7, you'll have a 98 driving dunk on this build. That is insane. Okay. So let's just keep it as is. And at level 5, you'll have a 95 driving dunk. Your speed with ball will be a 92 and your speed will be an 89. This build will be moving. Okay. On top of that, you'll get the poster machine. This build it's just, these takeovers are just endless. Mixtape. If you really want blur, you can still get a takeover that gives you blur, but mixtape is going to also increase your mid-range, increase your ball handle, and then on top of that, increase your speed with ball. Now, this is crazy. This is actually insane because you're still going to have a super high lightning launch, which will be on gold, unless you use your tier 1+1, then you can have a Hall of Fame lightning launch on this build. And that is absolutely terrifying. I'm not going to lie to you, but yeah, takeovers on this build are very, very lit. Okay. Silky shooter. You can do whatever you please with this build, and that is scary. Okay, that is scary. Now we're gonna go ahead and just move on, and let's look at the shades of that we got for this build. So we got Doug Christie, Brandon Miller, and KCP. This build is an all-around demigod. Okay, the only thing that you can honestly say is, hey, this build just can't get aboard. But who cares, man? Who cares? Run with a big and run them fast breaks, bro. Stop playing. You get a crazy amount of defensive badges. You get a boatload of offensive badges, takeovers. This build is going to be unstoppable. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video right here. If you want another bucket machine, then watch this video that's popping up on your screen right here, right now. And I guarantee you, this is going to impress you as well. All right, so click on this video and I will see you all in this next video.